Swinging a long drive. It might be, it could be, it's in the car. Dude, somebody smacked the shit out of that.
Really?
Yeah. It hit the roof, so no one.
Oh, you mean a home run?
No, it fell ball. Hey, he's got
You still got it, Clarence. Hey man, they asked me if I wanted to go live. I told them yes. It's coming Monday, but
yeah, the week of the 20th.
It's gonna change. Wreaking havoc already. I know, right? Catch and throw by the Swede.
I know none of you will probably say Joe Doc, but
Absolutely. Well, I would tell you to Doc Sally. I would tell the Will to Doc after a ricochet over your head.
a little bit, yeah. Just a little bit, yeah, same. Huh? Just a couple.
When the first time I asked you to smoke still, are you trying to act like you drink a smoke?
No, I'm going to do a light check real quick.
Oh, we're out. Everybody checks the sound.
Check down where we at.
Mic check.
Mic check, Will.
I don't hear anything. Hello? Mic check.
Oh! Big call!
Mic check down there.
Why? So you can drown out Will?
Mic check, Will. I don't. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. I don't know.
Can you hear me through here?
Yes.
I can't hear me.
Joey, did you collect that for me?
I have James. I have James. More to the front of it.
Mic check.
More to the front, more to the front.
Give your porn voice and maybe it'll work.
I never reveal my porn voice, and you know my videos.
I watch you.
I
would support you.
I would definitely support
It has to be better than that fucking movie you were in a few years ago.
That's a good movie.
Wow.
Don't put down my movie. There's a few things you can say, baby.
How are the royalty checks?
I think I got none so far. I think they got a problem with the post office or something.
Damn FedEx.
Go base head.
Yeah.
Just to cut off, man.
Yeah, but once I just put end gears in the fucking pool, holy shit. Okay.
I wasn't born to go grab from the bottom.
He
I
asked
tell you what, now I know. Now I know. From now on, when I go to a party, I don't care if I'm the one that likes the beer. I'm grabbing from the bottom.
Well, obviously, you guys know there's like 2 or 3 things I'm good at, and keeping beers cold is one of them.
Yeah, so the person over there is not doing a good job. No offense.
I've been there too. I set up the equipment for my vehicle. Look at Joe, can't help himself over there. Hey, that's your thing. I know.
Can't drink a nice cold beer. You know what's the point?
I hear you, Willie Guns.
I heard that. But like I said, beer was made warm. We finally got ice when what was his name? Doc?
Let me know whenever you drink
Doc.
warm beer in yours too.
What was Doc's last name from Back to the Future? Doc Brown.
Doc Brown.
Doc Brown invented ice. Before he invented ice, they did.
He invented the flux capacitor before he invented ice.
No. Well, technically in the future he did, but he went back in the time and said, I need to drink a glass of ice too.
You guys hear me all right?
Yes.
I hear everybody.
Check.
Yeah, I hear you.
James,
yeah.
you all right over there? That guy, poor James on a bag chair.
I know.
He's roughing it. We got to, once Justin's done over here.
You want to switch?
Yeah, if you want.
Oh, yeah, just give me that chair.
Maybe like 2 minutes ago. This guy's wreaking fucking havoc over here. Well, yes, it's all on me.
I'm just a tall guy.
Listen, he's giving you a lap dance.
The tallest guy in my row.
You know, he does porn.
I just bought an extension cord. He ain't getting no money from me.
You're a little down low. You know, it's not bad stuff. Now you comfy? Now you good? All right, good. Good.
Ready? It's fired up, boys. Just give me the signal when we're ready. We don't have any intro or outro music like we normally do, right?
Do an Eagles chant.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking live here at Verrec Playground on a crisp autumn day in iconic Grace Ferry, Pennsylvania. This is Grace Ferry's own Pattison Ave Phanatics Show. We're here live at Sheeran Day Softball Tournament. It's truly an honor for us to be here today to celebrate the life and memory of a great Grace Ferryan. So to all our listeners who don't know what Grace Ferry is, let me first give you the Wikipedia explanation of what Grace Ferry is. But real quick before that, let me introduce the crew. We have back from his sabbatical for over a month and a half, Willie Guns.
Yo, what's up, Grace Ferry?
James Scorza.
Yo.
Joe Marks.
What's up, GF?
My man Justin is the engineer for this program today. We appreciate Justin coming out. So real quick, like I said, the Wikipedia explanation of Grace Ferry. Grace Ferry, also known as Grace Ferry, is a neighborhood in South Philadelphia. It's bounded by 25th Street to the east, the Schuylkill River to the west, Vere Avenue to the south, and Grace Ferry Avenue to the north. The section of the neighborhood west of 34th Street is known as the Forgotten Bottom, or the Bottom. Grace Ferry shares borders with Southwest Center City to the north, Point Breeze to the east, and the Girard Estates to the south. Historically, Grace Ferry has one of the largest enclaves of Irish Americans in the city. Go figure. So, with that said, Willie Guns, welcome back, dude.
Glad to be back.
It's good to have you back, brother. How goes things? You all right? You ready? You ready to rock and roll today, or what?
Yeah, I'm ready to talk Philly sports.
Very nice.
Literally grabbed him right from.
Yes, his sabbatical. Lauren, we apologize for that.
Yes.
Sorry. Well, we'll try and get him back to you as soon as we can. So I wanted to put together, Joey and I got together earlier in this week, and we wanted to put together a little list of and I'm not going to name everybody, and I apologize, but we want to put together some Philly athletes and some Grace Ferry athletes, just some names that you may recognize, that at least, you know, I've heard growing up. I'll start with Philly athletes, and Joey, if like I said, keep an ear out for the. Yes. I know your list is very, very extensive, whereas mine not so much.
Joey, you are not in a good spot, dude.
That's all right.
I've taken a ball to the head more than once.
If Joey takes a softball to the head,
hopefully that team has no lefties.
The show will go on.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
I will give you the play-by-play as the ambulance pulls up. It won't
Joey's
be the first.
laying on the ground.
Won't be the first time we've had an ambulance pull up for Joe at an event. But anyway, so some Philly athletes. Like I said, since we're first and foremost, we're a sports talk show. Kobe Bryant, Wilt Chamberlain, you got Vince Papale and Rasheed Wallace. There's some of the big ones. Like I said, Joey, keep an ear out for the Philly ones because I know you, like you said, your list is more extensive than mine. But some Grace Ferry names. You have Ed Cook. He's a Newman alum. He also played at Notre Dame. Jerry Rulo, he played for the Philadelphia Warriors back in the day. We have Scott Oster, who graduated a couple years after Joey and myself from Newman. He's a Temple grad and also made it to the Bucks. I believe it was like 99 or 2000.
Yeah. Let me go back to Jerry Rulo for a minute. He won an NBA championship in '47 with the Philadelphia Warriors. So he is a champion.
Okay, Paul Felder, MMA fighter.
Yes.
Played St. Gabe's football with his older brother. And then you got Mikey Rafferty, who's a pro boxer. Angelo Novelli, who I believe is Chris Novelli's uncle.
Yeah, I think so.
Chris Novelli is a friend of ours. And then some other names, questionable whether or not they're Notre Dame guys or not. You got Tex Cobb, Earl the Pearl Monroe. Some of these names, like I said, they may not be Grace Ferry guys. You got Colin McAllister, Philip Gaines, Hank Clinton, of course, the Hank Clinton League that's down Linear, or was. Mikey Keir, and then Joey, what do you got over there?
So you kind of took some of my thunder with the Grace Ferry people, but I'm going to
That was my plan.
I'm going to add to what you said. So Paul Felder fought for UFC and Cage Fury Fighting Championship, multiple champion. He had a record. He competed in the Junior Olympics in '96 in Atlanta. 15-4-0 is his record in UFC. Scott Oster went to Newman, graduated in '98, went to Temple, then went on to play for the New York Dragons in the AFL, and then went on to eventually go to the Bucks. Get cut after preseason, but now he runs a massage therapist spot up in Margate, taking appointments all the time. Shout out to Scott Oster. Mike Rafferty, boxer, record was 9-1-1, 4 knockouts in those wins. He has, for people that are familiar from this neighborhood, Barrett Neighbor Center, he has a youth and young adult league boxing gym.
Boxing club, yeah.
Angelo Novelli, he had 7-2 record, 6 knockouts, 7 out of the 7 wins. And then, like I said, Jerry Arullo, he was a guy that didn't really. He went to Temple University. He didn't score a lot. He came off the bench. But when he was with the Philadelphia Warriors in 1947, he won a NBA championship. So.
Nice to know. He's from Grace Ferry?
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. I didn't know that.
So, so those are some of the Grace Ferry athletes. Out of some of the Philadelphia athletes, some of the other things you stole my thunder with is Kobe Bryant. We all know about Kobe. And Wilt Chamberlain. Jameer Nelson, who went to St. Joe's. He's still actually playing with the Pistons.
Jameer Nelson still playing in the league?
He's still playing with the Pistons.
Get the heck out of here.
He's coming off the bench, but
He
he's
went
still
to
playing.
St. Joe's, but where was he from?
He's from Philly. He's from West Philly.
That's awesome.
Tiffany's grade school.
Did he?
Yeah.
So
That's good knowledge by you.
Jamie Moyer, who played for, he debuted in 1986 with the Chicago Cubs. His career record is 269-209 with a career ERA of 4.25.
World Series champion.
Eddie George is from the area. He went to Ohio State and then later on was drafted by the Houston Oilers in '96. '96 seemed to be like a year that, like, a lot of Philadelphia athletes went to the pros.
Were they still the Oilers in '96?
They were.
When did they switch to the Titans? The following year?
It was the following year. Rasheed Wallace, you had mentioned. Rasheed was, the thing that shocked me was Rasheed was the 4th overall pick.
I could have swore that there was a player, Eddie Griffin, was it, or something?
Eddie Griffin played for Roman.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But Eddie Griffin played for...
I was waiting to hear his name.
Wait, was that the one? Did he just recently pass away?
Eddie Griffin?
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure.
He did, Sean? Yeah.
But he played for, I believe, the Mavericks for a little bit.
He played for, thanks, Joe. He played for a couple
It
different
wasn't a
teams.
bad basketball.
No.
It wasn't bad.
Another guy
He's a good
who's
three-point shooter.
famous. Actually, the next 2 guys are pretty famous. Joe Frazier, Hall of Fame boxer. His record was 32-4-1. 27 of those 32 wins were not by knockout. Marvin Harrison, who holds the single season record for
Marvin
reception.
Harrison, yes, sir.
That's another Roman grad, right?
Yes, it
That's
is.
a Roman putting out all these.
well followed.
Well, look. Okay, I lost everything.
Joe Mark, did you break the mic? Nice. One time for the quarter.
So, I'm not sure.
No one can hear us right now, I don't think.
Okay, so
There we are.
get back here. So Marvin Harrison.
And off again. Just hold on.
Get it? All right. So Marvin Harrison, the record is 143.
Damn Roman grads.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't understand how that cord
Roman-
came unplugged. Nobody is playing basketball over there.
Roman,
There was kids just behind.
There's
I know,
just
but
this-
you don't see a cord?
there's just as many Roman
Unreal.
people
Go
as
shake,
human people.
go shake your fist at him, Gun.
So
No, I'm good.
You have St. Joe's Prep, and we're also
Let's just cut out again.
No, you're dead.
Checking connection.
Good.
There you go. Thank God it's 2 hours.
So,
Oh, they're playing football. That's what it is.
yeah, tripped over like the corner.
Gotcha. I think they're taking the cords now and intertwining them so they don't come out again.
Yeah.
So Marvin Harrison, 143 is the record for single season game. He did that in 2002. Yeah, Roman grad, but there are a lot of Newman grads too. So
I think it's going to be broken.
give me some
That's
Newman
going to be
grad.
broken
well,
this
Oster
year.
was a Newman
I
grad.
see Sean over there smiling. He's a Roman grad as well.
And then you mentioned Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain, probably one of the most prestigious the names.
Probably the first, like the most prestigious.
Well, I was gonna say, like, if you had to pick anybody from the list of
I mean,
like
Frazier's up there.
Frazier's
Frazier's
up
up
there
there.
too.
Bernard Hopkins.
yeah, B Hops is here. B Hops record was
But yeah, Wilt's bigger than that. Well, 100 points in one game.
I would
yeah.
think Will and Kobe are probably
Yeah, Kobe.
one
It's
and two.
interesting.
Kobe.
It's interesting because B Hop had more fights than Frazier. B Hop went 55, 8 and 2.
Are you
with-
counting his street fights?
Well, no, I'm not. that wasn't sanctioned. But he was the oldest fighter to ever fight for a championship at 49 years old.
Yes, he was.
So, you know, that's the thing is like we have boxers, we have basketball players, and we have football players. And like it's kind of proud to like see a lot of those guys. And like I said, 96 was like a prime year for Philadelphia sports.
I can name a guy out there, Will Fuller, Notre Dame product, went to Roman Catholic. He's
Yeah.
That's true.
Damn, all these Roman guys, Joey.
not on the Newman guys, actually.
No, not too many. A little, and even less Southern guys, right, Guns?
Not even gonna try.
Well, look, Joey, what else you got on your?
That's about it. Let's dive into some stuff.
Okay, real quick before we get into that. So this show here, one of the reasons I wanted to bring the show down is we're all Grace Ferry guys. We're all from here. Whether even if you move out of here, you still live here. You know, your heart's here. This is your home. Guns, you lived in a couple of different places down here. Where'd you live at down here?
I lived on 2644 Garrett Street. I live 2832 Cantrell. That's still Grace Ferry, right?
I don't know.
Isn't it? It's like borderline.
You're. I think the other side of Snyder.
I live 1514 South Danbury Street. That house is knocked down. And I'm born and raised Grace Ferry.
And your parents are now on Newkirk Street, right?
Yeah, my parents
So
are back
your
in
old
Grace
man,
Ferry.
your old man lived in 4 houses there.
Yeah, he was known as the Ox.
He is the Ox still.
I don't know if he can still do what he used to do, but he still got the temper, I tell you that.
He tries.
Absolutely. Well, I haven't seen him in a while, but I'm sure he could still put away them double gulps of beer.
Yeah, he was 2M6. That's what he was.
He's at 26th Street.
Yes, sir.
I floated back and forth. I hung out down both places. But the rest of the people at this table are all Marston Streeters. James, you're still over there.
Still down there, man.
James is still over there on Marston Street. I used to live on the 1600 block on Marston Street. And Joey, you were 1400, right?
Yep, 1448.
That's an inside the park home run. Good job.
So,
Do you know this guy?
what guy? Who just hit it? That's
Yeah.
Pat Mannion just hit a nice triple there.
Nice triple by Pat.
Attaway, Pat.
Good job, Pat.
So, first and foremost, we are a sports talk show, and that's what we're here to do today. So I want to jump into a little bit of your Philadelphia 76ers and see what the boys are thinking. Guns, what are you thinking so far? Coming out of the gates, the Sixers 1-1. What do you think?
I thought at times they looked good against Boston. At times they did look good, but Boston's so deep. Boston's bench can beat most NBA teams on their own.
Boston has
Yeah.
a lot of talent.
And just watching that game, I saw that Boston is probably the team in the East so far. The Sixers can be that team. Fultz has to pick up the slack.
Anybody catch any of that Boston-Toronto game last night?
I saw
I watched
some
the
of it, yeah.
beginning.
Right out of the
not.
gate, Kawhi Leonard's ripping passes
Yeah.
out of the sky.
Did you see that they left him wide open for the three? They didn't even like challenge him.
Yeah.
They're like, whatever.
I would.
No, it's,
I
But-
would. He's been out of the game for
The thing is
a year.
he doesn't even want to play for that team. He doesn't want to
No.
play for them.
Probably wants to be in LA. That's my opinion anyway.
I mean, here's the thing: is LA, even LA didn't look like put together. Again, you know, in the game that they played, They didn't look like they had things together
I
yet.
tell you what, they look dangerous with Ingram. Ingram was like so confident shooting that ball, dribbling. Ingram looked like a different player.
I just feel like LeBron's going to get frustrated with some of these kids throughout the whole course of the year. He's going to get frustrated.
I don't think so. I disagree because I think LeBron James, I don't know if he's about the championship no more.
well, you think he's about like what comes next?
Because I discussed this with a lot of people, and it's like that wasn't the team to go to win
won a
more
championship.
championships.
I think it would have been the Sixers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Myself. I'm not trying to be a homer or anything.
No. I could. Here's the thing.
I think we all are homers, man.
Listen, everybody agreed with that too. I mean, all Philly thought, like, even the analysts on TV.
Yeah, Mark
were like,
Jackson even agreed to say that.
That was the perfect team for him to go to. But it is what it is. He's in LA and he made a big mistake.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, but
They're
now
not winning crap.
He knows this year is his transition year to build that team. I mean, when LeBron goes to a team, LeBron's not going to a team to have someone else build it around him. He's building it. He's bringing people in. Right. He's soliciting people.
Well, you know what this is going to do for him? It's going to validate him even more for like MVP honors because he is the team. I mean, you surround him with those young talent, but he's the team essentially.
Real quick, total disrespect by the Golden State Warriors, right? Curry pretty much was the best player on their team. He was the reason why they won those championships and everything. And now Kevin Durant comes in, and in the ring ceremony, Durant was the man. Curry was announced right before him. That right there, that totally took me off.
I mean, didn't Durant get MVP of the finals?
I don't care about him getting that.
I mean, apparently.
You're captain of your team, Curry. That's the guy that should have been
Durant's the second best player in the world.
So
but Durant also jumped ship to come over here and get a free championship. They didn't even need him.
We know where Will's going now after the divorce. He's going to Curry. He's going to Curry. He's got a new love.
He's off the LeBron.
He's on to Curry.
No, it's not that. It's just like I would hate if that happened in Philly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's say Embiid was your main player, and you already won 2 championships with him, and then you brought. Now, I wouldn't say LeBron because I think LeBron's better than Kevin Durant. Let's say you brought Kevin Durant. Let's say you did. And when the championship ring ceremony happened, when he got his 1 ring with them, Embiid before Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant gets the satisfaction of getting the loudest cheers, which he really didn't. Sound like Curry did. But the bottom line is you don't do that.
Well, let's be clear.
You don't do that.
Curry built that team before Durant, well before Durant ever got there.
Yeah, Curry was the team. He was the team.
He comes out of
Klay
Davidson.
Thompson and Draymond Green were good assets to it. Of course, Kevin Durant guarantees you championships, but Curry won without Kevin Durant.
I mean, you have Curry coming out of Davidson, probably one of the hottest pure shooters come out of college. I mean, of course you're going to have somebody who's going to be able to light it up statistically. But, like, here's the thing is I don't know if they knew they were going to get who they were going to get out of Klay, but I'm getting feedback, but all right. But I don't know if they knew they were going to get what they were going to get from Klay.
UFO flying overhead.
Yeah, seriously. Welcome to Grace Ferry.
There you go.
But, you know, with Durant, it just adds that fuel to the fire. And I kind of agree with you, Will. But here's the thing that bugs me.
Sorry. Don't let me.
Yeah, I know.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but can you say that again?
No, I won't say it again. I will not say it again.
It's just awkward.
It's on tape.
Yeah.
You can rewind on the podcast.
I'm going to ISO that, and that's going to be a drop.
Rewind on the goddamn.
It's going to be a soundbite.
I'm going to ISO that, and it's going to be a drop.
No, it's not.
When I say a good point, Tommy's going to play your soundbite saying,
No.
I agree with you, Will.
No.
So then that'll never get played.
Never.
No, that's going to actually get burnt after this.
Pretty much.
That's well. They're gonna chalk it up to the extension cord must have got kicked out when Will said that.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I feel like with the Sixers right now with 1-1, I feel like they're a little inconsistent. In Boston they showed a little bit of weakness.
Well,
in defense.
I mean, it's tough to tell consistency after 2 games.
I know, but they came out like a different team against the Bulls. And the Bulls and them were fine. Like
they're not ready yet. That's what it is.
No, they're not.
They will
not
be.
at all.
I think they will be, though.
Why do you think that?
You can just see it. You can just see the way they're playing. You can see how confident Simmons looks, man. It's insane.
Well,
and he's practicing on the shot still. And Embiid is trying to kill every guy that's coming to the lane. It's going to happen, man. I'm telling you. Embiid's trying to play to win the MVP this year. And I guess what? I think Simmons is trying too.
So do I. Here's the thing. Simmons, who gets MVP more? The guy that triple-double or the guy that does 26 and 10?
26 and 10, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you average a triple-double, that's never really done, but yet you'll get passed over for MVP. And I don't think that that's genuinely fair because averaging a triple-double is, like, incredibly difficult.
Simmons is going to miss a lot of triple doubles this year, especially when they play bad teams, because they're going to be benching them for the fourth quarter.
Well, one,
it's a shame.
Two, in order to build Markelle Fultz's confidence, there's going to have to be a lot more sharing is caring, so to speak.
Well, understand, they were up by 20 on the Bulls in the fourth quarter. They still let Ben play.
No, they
well, it's early in the season, too.
Yeah, but
as the season progresses.
They took Ben and Embiid out, and then they had to put them back in.
Right, because
that's the thing.
They went down to the 15.
Don't go down that route. Let these guys get the points. Let these guys get the stats. That gives them more confidence.
I think you worry about injury.
I've never been that fan.
You fear injury. You fear injury.
You fear injury in the first quarter.
Well,
you fear injury in the second quarter.
In the third game.
You think because, I'm going to take him out in the fourth quarter because there's a possibility he hasn't been injured all game, but maybe he'll get injured this fourth quarter.
Right.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, the guys got the confidence. Let them blow these teams out. Like, stop taking them out, and then you put our bench in that really is not deep at all. You know, and that's what happens. You're going to let teams get back in the game.
And
you can't do that.
I think that's what Boston had that we didn't have. They had the killer instinct to keep the gas down, and we didn't.
Tank with the old double fist there. I hear you, Tank.
No, that you also
double fist there,
you also got to call the stamina thing. If you keep on taking these guys out early in the fourth, then yes, you're giving them their break. Wow, we almost lost
put a foot on that, James. Put a foot on that. Lay that down, will you?
I mean, basically, when you look at it, you got these guys that are built to play 4 quarters, and they're going to be playing 3.5. When you get to the playoffs, those guys got to play 4 quarters. Those guys got to be used to it. I say kill the teams.
I agree. But here's the thing. If you kill the teams by 30, and then somehow, like, you got Simmons that pulls up with a hammy, is that validated? Do you still validate that if they blow a team out and then Simmons winds up pulling up a hammy?
Listen, take them out the last 5 minutes or 6 minutes. Don't be benching them right at the almost beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I mean, you want him to be LeBron.
It depends on the score.
Minutes.
If it's a close game and you're trying to save him, foul trouble.
Yeah, but your bench, Tommy, can't carry that 20-point lead.
This bench couldn't carry my groceries from my car to my house.
So you really got to wait to take them guys out. You can't take them out right away because you're up by 23 or 25.
And you trade them away.
Dude, Bellinelli and Ilyasova. I have questions for that.
But they got paid. Let's be clear. They got paid. They wanted to get paid.
I don't blame them. Well, look, what will this team need to do going forward to be a team like Boston? As far other than obviously you got to get rid of the turnover. The turnovers are killing.
I think it's the turnovers, but I also think it's the fact that you do, like James said, we don't have enough depth. We don't have enough firepower to keep up with these teams that have depth.
I'd like to see them drive more. I'm sick and tired of seeing them on a fast break trying to shoot that 3 and it's a brick.
Is anyone tired of, like, the people shooting and just relying on the shot rather than driving? Because we have power in this lineup.
You got two great drivers.
Well, yeah, you got. You need to penetrate to create those shots, and there's only a couple of players on this team right now that have the ability to do that. Obviously, Simmons is your number one, and Joel, but you want to see him working more down low this year.
Well, what I'm referring to is Markelle Fultz. He's a slasher too, but he seems to pull up more than he does continue and finish the drive.
I guess he's got to build that confidence.
You know
with
what?
his shot.
I think he's got a damn target on his back, man. When he goes out there, teams just want to embarrass him. Oh, yeah, this kid ain't getting anything. He was a waste of a first overall pick. You know what I mean?
Well,
that's what it seems like.
Here's the thing: is you got to. I feel like you have to call a bust a bust, and I feel like he's a bust. And I feel that way because when you have you can only give so much rope to a guy before he hangs himself.
Can we think of a player that started out like him as the first overall pick and mounted to be anything?
What do you mean that had this much struggles initially, and then
Raymond Felton probably? Felton was a top pick.
Are you talking all sports, just basketball?
No, I'm talking making it. No, but just basketball. I'm talking about your
making
first
it like
overall
better.
Pick
the number one overall
draft.
pick. I don't know.
That he struggled and then became a superstar.
Yeah, he struggled like his first 2 or 3 seasons, and then he became a star.
Jordan.
Jordan wasn't the number 1 overall pick.
Okay, he wasn't the number 1 overall
Sam
pick.
Bowie could have been a Sixer.
That's what I'm talking about.
Could've been a
Number 1
Sixer.
overall pick. The guy that gets picked first in the NBA draft. That's what Fultz is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Here's the thing.
I'm smelling it. Joey, look up number 1 picks in the NBA history.
He may be the worst first overall pick in NBA history.
Wow.
If he doesn't get his game going, you know.
Look at what's on your team right now, and like out of the top 5, you had Okafor, you had Embiid, you had.
Will's looking it up. Look at that.
Yeah,
look at that.
Yeah,
look at that.
Was Okafor a number 1 pick?
No, I'm not saying overall. I'm saying in the top 5. I'm saying in the top 5.
Oh,
no,
Mecca Okafor was.
No. Jaleel. I'm talking for the Sixers.
In this category, you have to have the first overall picks and the last bust before Fultz.
But see, here's the thing.
And did he make it after that?
But Fultz hasn't made any headway in a year.
The year before they drafted Wiggins.
Oh, Turner? Evan Turner?
No, Cleveland.
Cavaliers.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
Mo
faking.
Williams? No.
Kyrie Irving?
It was after Kyrie. Before.
Yeah, I can see his
Oh,
face.
yeah, he's a bust.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bust. I know you're talking about. Oh, my God, what the hell's his name?
Does he have the fro? Is it the guy with the...
I know.
I know who he's talking about. But here's the thing, is like you have a lot of busts.
What about that center? Went to Ohio State.
DeJuan Blair?
Yeah. That's him. He was another one. Huge bust. He was number 1 overall.
Well, here's
right?
the thing. He was a bust because he got hurt. He got hurt coming like it was like a Gordon Hayward.
Anthony Bennett was
Yeah, you see, that's another player that he was the first pick and he ain't doing nothing, so it does happen. But very rarely, though. It's crazy.
I mean, but here's the thing. I mean, how much more rope are we going to give him before we're like, okay, it's a bust? I mean, in my opinion, I understand
I don't
why.
think he's a bust. I don't.
I'm tired of giving this guy more rope to
I just
hang
think
us
he's
with.
going to take more time to.
How much more time do you
I don't
want?
think he's ever going to mount to be the first
the
overall
time
pick.
is now
Wait a
to
minute.
strike.
You're talking about Fultz, right? And how much more time you want? I mean, you got to give the guy a little bit. He was hurt.
I
all
gave him a
last
year.
and his shot was messed up.
I gave him a year.
I know, but it's only 2 games into the season, right? So he went from 5 points to 12 points. You doubled your progression in 2 games. I mean, give him some time.
Okay, well, what about the guy that just came, who's a rookie, who just came off the bench and hit 12 points? It's his second game of his career, and he has as many points as Fultz.
Point taken.
The thing is, when you're a number 1 overall pick, your talent should be undeniable.
Agreed.
The coach has to play you, and you can tell Brett, he won't play anybody over him.
He is. Brown is definitely hesitant to play him, but I think he's
really
trying.
frustrated.
Well, that's why he only played him 3 minutes in the second half against Boston. He was like, no.
So good that he has to play, but they can't deny him time on the court.
Well,
And when I see him walking around with a stupid hoodie on, he looks like a girl.
Feels like he's hiding.
Don't he? I mean, dead serious. When he's walking to the court, I was like,
he's
the
hiding.
WNBA's here?
he's hiding so he doesn't
does.
get called
He
to go
looks
back
like
on
a
the court.
girl.
I don't know about a girl, but I see a Swede on third base.
It looks like Reggie from when David Chappelle played Reggie in the Nutty Professor. Take that pile of shit off your head.
Oh my goodness. Willie Guns is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So all right. Oh, sorry about that. Let me close that app. How has Ben Simmons looked to you guys? 2 games in. What are you feeling about Ben? Look, I realize it's only 2 games in. That's all. That's all we got to work with.
I know.
Pure confidence. He's got it. He's got the only thing he doesn't have still is the shot. But
Where is it?
He's playing with the confidence.
And so far Will's right and I'm wrong. Will said he'll believe it when he sees it. I said Will, he's going to come out of the gate and he's going to have that 12 to 15 footer. He's been working on it. He took a couple of shots. That weird corkscrew shot that he took. I don't know what the hell it was.
Look.
He made it, but
Reggie Miller went out on a further limb than you did. He said he was going to hit his first 3 against the Bulls. He didn't even attempt one.
Wow, I did not catch that by Reggie Miller.
Yeah. He's like, he's going to hit his first 3. It's going to be history. It's going to be history. I'm like, okay, buddy,
what's it going to
relax.
be, a half-court shot?
It almost was.
Does warm-ups count? Too? Is that,
No. But here's the thing.
Wait a minute. He has not made an NBA 3 yet?
No.
That's bad, dude.
No.
Oh, no.
He's only attempted 11.
Shaq made
Out
an
of his
NBA
career.
3 before he did it.
out of his NBA career.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were talking like college too. That 1 year at LSU.
No.
So wait a minute. What's his 3-point rating in like NBA
Zero.
2K19 or something?
Zero.
It would have to be the most lowest part you can have.
50 or something.
It'd be like 50. Here, start at the bottom.
Started from the bottom, and we're still here.
It's so bad that Markelle Fultz has a better 3-point shot than Ben Simmons. Because at least he made one and took one.
He hits him in warm-ups, though. What's going on? Why can't he transition this into the game?
Because maybe he just feels like he's got to be too much of the game manager, I think. Because you got to understand.
He moves fast, man. He moves so fast that I feel like he can't just sit still in a game and just take his time to shoot that three. To catch and shoot is one thing that the great three-point shooters do, but the people that are mediocre can catch a wide-open three and hit it.
That is what you call a stat stuffer. But the problem is he doesn't stuff the stats
Brett
enough
Brown
on the...
needs to force it. Seriously, he needs to just say,
Force
look,
what?
This play, you're going to be open for a three-pointer. The guy's going to pass it to you, and you're going to shoot the damn three. I don't care if it's a brick. You're shooting it. But you got to get this dude shooting threes. You have to.
And my coach said always, when I was a three-point shooter, catch and shoot. Like, always. Like,
Well, because at that point it's more muscle memory and you're not thinking about it. So as soon as it hits your hands, if you have the opportunity, take the shot.
Even if he goes 0 for 12, if I'm Brett Brown, I'm like, dude, you got to get this down. You have to. You're going to do it.
Practice makes perfect.
Practice is practice, but during the game when you're not shooting threes, how are you going to hit a three? Hell, how can
Will's
we rely
about to
on
break
him?
out into his Allen Iverson impression.
Oh, man. We're talking about practice.
No, I'm saying he hits them all the time in practice. He looks pretty damn good. And then when game time comes, he just doesn't even want to shoot a three.
You know why he looks good
They
in
leave
practice?
it there. They're leaving the three there for him. He needs to develop a three-point shot.
Will, you know why he looks good in practice? Because you don't have to pass to your teammates in practice. You can just shoot. That's all you can do is just work on your shot.
No, I'm saying Brett Brown needs to work up plays to where that's the guy for the three. And they leave him wide open because they know he's not going to shoot it.
Well, you don't spread your defense because you don't
Give it a
need
shot
to.
when you play like a team that stinks. Just get them out there and have them shooting threes.
I still don't understand why Embiid's not his personal coach. Embiid's one of the best big man three-point shooters that we have.
Softball just hit your chair, Joey. It's getting closer. It's getting closer.
I think they're targeting me now.
Oh, I can't wait. Dude, if you get hit, just stay down because I want to take pictures.
That's fine.
I want to take pictures. Yeah, I want to put that in my my photo.
We'll have to take that camera and hover it over you.
Absolutely. If you're unconscious to it, it'd be
that'll be another T-shirt design on Teespring or TeePublic.
And it's on video too.
Yeah,
so you're
seriously.
good. You're good. You're all right.
You'll see an animated version of me lying in my pool of blood.
I tell you what, if it goes on YouTube and becomes a hit because I get smacked in the face with a softball right now, I'll do it.
Hey, the guy that just got
does anybody have an action?
The guy that got smacked with the pole in the subway is going to London.
See, but my luck, you're Joe. You're like Inspector.
So look, I throw the ball hit the ball my way. I want to go to London.
Yeah. Well, wait. So you're like Inspector Gadget, though. You walk into a room and nothing bad happens to you, but everybody around you gets smacked in the face with wood boards and trips and falls.
Oh,
and gets
so you're
hurt.
blaming the generator issue on him?
Of course he is. Of course he is.
I know where that's going.
Yeah. I would say Joey's a mush. What do you guys think about?
That's why I've been banned from the Wells Fargo Center.
You've been banned from the Wells Fargo Center for 2006 Flyers season. Sean, guy had tickets to the worst season in Flyers history. I told him you're never allowed to go to another Flyers game as long as you live. But anyway,
Patrick Kane that year in the draft.
Yeah. What do you? Exactly. Then you ruined the draft.
Why don't you get season tickets to the Pittsburgh Penguins?
No. James, you stay out of this bush.
Get season tickets to the
We'll get a
Penguins.
GoFundMe for Joey season tickets to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
And a GoFundMe for what's the team that we're gonna have to beat in the NFC? The Rams.
Probably the Rams.
Probably.
Yeah, I would say.
So
the
what?
Rams.
You're gonna ship me back out to LA?
No, once we start making good money, we're buying season tickets to all these. You got to go to all the games.
That's awesome.
I'll go.
No, so
Yeah, but you might not be a mush, James. Joey's a mush.
to semi-quote Rob Ellis, let's get it back to the Sixers. What are you guys feeling about Embiid so far over 2 games? These first 2 games of the season. I'm pretty much the guy is as advertised. I just think his conditioning's a little better this year compared to last year.
He looks the same.
I'm hoping his maturity level's a little bit higher, but the guy's going to run his mouth, which is part of why you love him.
Well, look, I saw a couple times where he could have lost his cool against the Bulls, and he was fine. He could have lost his cool against the Celtics. You get frustrated when
No,
you get down
Joey,
that.
he's losing his cool and his teammates.
Yeah, which is,
well,
you know what?
listen.
Which is fine. Light a fire
That's
under
fine.
there.
I'm fine with that.
He's taking the
I'm
team
fine with
leader
that.
thing but the problem is your team's not that great besides you and Simmons.
Look, unlike a guy that wears the number 28 that wears orange, Embiid actually says something and steps up and lights a fire under his
Dude,
teammates.
Simmons
He's a
and
born
Embiid
leader.
are superstars, man. We know they are.
Look, we don't know what happens in that locker room behind closed doors, as Jason Martinez will remind you. That so he very well
Hey,
could
Jason,
be.
you have an open invitation for this show, brother.
Well, like I said, last time you two got together, it was.
It didn't go down very well for him.
Well,
For him,
it's you know,
it's still 1-0 me.
typical lawyer Joe
I don't know.
Marks.
I heard how it went down.
I was very proud of you, Joey. by
I
the
heard
way.
how it went down, but like he brought up how he knows these players and you don't.
I also know that we're not winning, so I think I kind of see the writing on the wall.
So let me ask.
Maybe he's just too
So
naive.
the fact that he went that route, I'll say you won 1-0.
Okay. All right. Here's the thing: is like for me, if you're too close to it, sometimes you just don't see the forest through the trees. You know, and that's the thing. I see that. I see that Embiid is the leader on this team.
Yeah, Embiid's definitely the leader.
He's the leader on this team, and that actually gives me confidence because I feel like Embiid has grown on the offseason.
But the thing is if you're going to be the leader of this team, Embiid, 26-10 is not going to. Your average.
It's not going to cut it for you.
Your average needs to be 30 and 12.
Oh, good lord!
Wait, what's not going to cut it for you?
26 and 10 ain't going to cut it for
I
him.
don't think so. I really don't. I don't think so.
So you want him to pull
Sean, would
better?
you take 26 and 10 out of Joel Embiid as an average
No,
every day?
I'm sorry, I'm not.
I mean,
You're
you
not-
want him to pull more.
That's too much.
It's not going to win MVP.
You want
I'm
him to
saying.
pull better stats than
Embiid.
your boy LeBron.
I don't know, man. It's up in the air for me. Maybe 26 and 10 is still the same.
All right, here's the thing.
He's not going
26
to average that though. What I'm saying.
I
is-
feel like he will.
On the game that versus Boston, I'm not saying average wise. I'm saying when you play the great teams and you lose the way you did against the Celtics, 26 and 10 is not going to beat them.
But here's the thing.
I kind of have a feeling.
He needs to be a 40-15 guy in those games,
Superstars
like
should shine.
LeBron James is when he plays the great team.
And you know what?
Superstars shine brighter when the lights are brightest.
Exactly.
And I kind of have a feeling he's on the same page as you for himself, because how pissed he sounds
frustrated,
in
yeah.
that post-game press conference, which I'll get into that a little
Yeah,
bit later.
Boston always kicks our butts.
A little bit
I
later
know.
too. Yeah.
Speaking
That's
of
not
which,
a
they play
rivalry.
Sweet Caroline right now.
Absolutely. So good. So good. James,
Yo,
would you make a trade for Jimmy Butler?
you know what? I would actually, because Markelle Fultz showed me in 2 games that he's not the real deal. You need to get Butler.
So would you be willing to give up Dario Fultz in a pick? No?
I wouldn't trade Dario, but I would trade Fultz though.
See, I would have a hard time, Joey. Joey knows my affliction for Dario Saric, if you want to pronounce his name correctly.
Yeah.
Man,
Dario.
Butler could do mad damage.
Yeah, Dorio, right?
Dorio.
Now they found
Listen.
out that his name's Dorio.
But I would do it.
Kevin Harlan, one of my favorite announcers, pronounces his name wrong.
I love it. Will you?
I think you'd be able to maybe get Jimmy Butler if you traded Fultz and a draft pick.
Wow, this is going to shock everybody, but I disagree with all of you.
Really?
I think we should not get Jimmy Butler. I think he's a cancer to the locker room.
You know what?
Because I think he's a spoiled little brat that got his money, and now he thinks the organization has to bow to him, not the other way around.
I don't disagree with you, Joey.
Yeah, but Joey, look at
He's
his
burned a
stat-
lot of
look at-
bridges already.
Yeah, but he can talk the talk, though. That's the thing.
But he has to be able to walk the
He
walk.
has a
in my mind.
three-point shot. He can dunk. He
and-
can lay it up. He plays good defense.
Agreed. I mean, he would definitely be
He's a baller.
somebody you'd have to watch out for. So
Yeah, listen,
if
if-
you can get him on you're not going to get him on the cheap.
Well, you'd have to get him for the contract he is.
Yeah.
We're one of the only teams that can really get him.
Well, yeah, because we could still get a max deal. We can still get a max deal player.
Nah, I wouldn't
Mike.
consider him a max deal.
Well,
Sorry.
I wouldn't, but he would. That's the problem.
Well, then you don't get Jimmy Butler. I'm not giving him no max money.
It's enough
no
out of
that.
you.
That's why I'm saying he's going to think of himself before he thinks of the team. You know, like, and we're going to get to high-priced players later
It
on.
sucks because Fultz should be that guy. You drafted him first overall.
Well, that's why I'm
you
saying.
You could have had Tatum.
He's on the clock in my
Tatum
mind.
would be on our team right now, balling. But no, we got Fultz.
I think we would have
a guy
been-
that decides to change his shot up before he goes to the NBA.
I
Blame
think-
Colangelo for that.
Well, yeah, I think we would have had the championship last year if we would have had
I
Tatum.
blame
rather
him
than
for
Fultz.
even listening to anyone to change his shot.
Joe, Michael McCann over there was asking, how those Jaguars looking this year?
Carlos Hyde.
Carlos Hyde, man.
For those of you who don't know,
Joey's a mush. He mushed the Jaguars.
Joey is an Eagles fan, but he enjoys the colors of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I hate those colors.
Still got his Mark Brunell jersey.
And that's what you get with live remotes, Joey. Welcome. So
You didn't think I realized that I was going to open myself up to ball busting?
how much are we missing Ilyasova and Bellinelli?
Desperately.
Big time, in my opinion.
They gave you 25 points off the bench combined.
Yeah,
and then that's consistent.
I don't think their plans went well in the offseason. I think they were sold on getting LeBron James.
What I think happened is a lot of teams seen Brett Brown as your interim GM, and there wasn't necessarily stability in the front office.
Yeah.
And that, in my opinion, led to a lot of players.
Well, let's go back to the Colangelo thing. That happened. You said in a prior show that was that strategic on someone else's part to leak it at the opportune time that they did, because that's
a little conspiracy theory for you there, little flat Earth conspiracy.
The thing that ticks me off though is that they got Mikal Bridges and they trade him away on draft night. That could have changed your team around.
I don't disagree, James.
I'm a big fan of Bridges.
Me too.
Joey was calling for what? Is it B&B you were calling for?
Yeah, I was calling for both.
He's not going to play all this season.
They're really going to put a lot of stress on Embiid and Simmons this year. Just them two.
Well, look.
That's a shame.
The cream rises to the top.
You already hear me saying, Embiid, I need 40 out of you, bro, because your team's not going to beat good teams if you're scoring 26 and 10. It's a shame. Normally, if he was on a great team that had a lot of supporting cast, 26 and 10 is going to do it. But I think to beat these good teams, Embiid's going to need like 32 and 12 or 15. You know what I mean? And not a lot of turnovers.
I'm looking at these basketball courts to the left of us, man. And Joey, I used to give you work on these courts. Now it looks like Rucker Park down here. We used to have the old white chipped wood paint backboards.
I remember when we had to tape the net back up.
Yeah, exactly right. But look, sticking with our Sixers theme here for our transitioning into our first hour. I always ask these goofy little questions. If you could bring back one former Sixer to help this team, Joey's going to his notes. I'm gonna beat you to the punch, Joey. I'm gonna say Dr. J. I'm not gonna go AI. I'm gonna go Dr. J. Joey, what do you got over there in your voluminous notes, as Jeff Lurie would say?
Go to someone else and I'll be back.
Okay. Guns or James. James, if you could bring back one person from the past Sixers team to help this Sixers team.
You already know who I'm taking.
Who would it be?
Kyle Korver.
Really?
Kyle Korver's a shooter.
All right. I like it.
He's
James.
a shooter. I like it,
I might
James.
have thought about it for a half.
He's going to be a defensive liability like JJ Redick.
No, I'd take Allen Iverson.
I figured AI would come back.
He's a great scorer.
Then we'll steal your thunder.
He gets to the lane.
Joe, are you gonna bring Sam Bowie back?
No. I'm pulling a rabbit out of the hat though. Hal Greer.
Give me some. No, I know you got him.
Hal Greer, 10-time All-Star, averaged 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists a game. Was a 10-time All-Star all 10 years of his career.
Yeah, when the league sucked.
Hal Greer's a Philadelphian too. He's from Philly. He could have made it on your list
but
there, Joey.
You're going to take him over Allen Iverson. You can bring back AI in his prime.
So
Hal Greer was fast.
AI needs the ball, right?
But here's the thing: you don't need a guy. But what does AI do?
He would get the ball.
But what does AI do? He takes 50 shots a game.
Joey, he had to. He had nobody around him.
Right, but you're putting him on this team.
If he's going to have Simmons and Embiid around him.
But the question is, who would you put on this team? Not on his team.
Allen Iverson.
So you would take 30 shots away from Embiid and Simmons.
No, it wouldn't take the shots away from them.
He's taking.
It would take the shots away from JJ Redick, and it would take the shots away from Fultz, which Fultz won't be in there because you have Allen Iverson.
So you would just rely on 3 people. That's it.
Oh, great play,
ladies and gentlemen. Michael McCann coming up with a huge play.
There you go. Good play.
He's going to jump in from time to time.
He's okay for a Cowboys fan.
He is okay for a Cowboys fan.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He's at least tall enough to ride this ride.
It's funny how Joey went the Hal Greer thing. I mean, If you
He
were-
was fast.
If you
Joey,
were,
I respect that. I respect that research.
Listen,
you respected
I respect that research that he did right
He's
there.
a contributor.
Allen Iverson's an easy pick. I'm not going to lie, Will.
Will
Dr. J
Chamberlain,
is too.
Will
Go
Chamberlain,
fuck yourself.
Will Chamberlain, Dr. J, and Allen Iverson were the gimmies. I wanted to go deep.
I know.
And here's the thing. Hal Greer was fast, which is something we need, and he could play in this type of NBA. This type of NBA is a fast
why
NBA.
didn't you say Mo Cheeks?
Actually, Mo Cheeks was
Yeah,
on my
definitely.
list. Yeah,
That was a good one.
Mo Cheeks was on the list. Hal Greer beat him out because of the All-Star appearances. Because Hal Greer played with the big-time
I'm
players.
bring up a crazy name. Andre Iguodala.
You would bring back the sixth man of the year?
And one of the better defensive players.
Yes, that's why.
That's why.
Bring in Iguodala into the system where he has Simmons,
And that's
and
why Mo
Embiid.
Cheeks. And that's why Mo Cheeks was on my
He's
list.
not the star.
Well, the reason
Mo Cheeks won Defensive Player of the Year.
The reason Iguodala didn't have the success here that he had in Golden State was because they put it all on his shoulders.
Yes.
And he was
alone.
And he was the wrong AI to have all that weight on his shoulders.
Yeah, he was alone. I mean, I don't understand why they never supported him the way they should have.
He still was giving you 19 and 7
He was
and
busting
6.
his ass to do whatever he could to build us up. And we went to the playoffs with him.
No,
Doug Collins and him brought us to the playoffs.
that was the playoffs when
That was amazing.
Was that when
They looked good.
Rose got hurt in that first round?
Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice. Look, what are you looking to see out of Markelle Fultz within, let's say, this first 10 to 15 games to get some sort of, what kind of progression? Are you looking for a more consistent outside shot? And what are you looking for?
I think
Joe?
he needs more he needs to do more away from the ball.
He needs to play
He
better.
has to pass. He needs to be able to. I think he can
needs
be.
to do a better job.
You brought up that a slasher can kick the ball back out to the outside.
Yeah.
I feel like he is that guy that can draw the defense in and be able to kick the ball out effectively to the outside.
His length is a plus.
Who's gonna catch the pass and make the shot though?
I think
JJ Redick. JJ's not consistent anymore.
He's looked up and not even he's looked average.
He's not going to be
being nice.
Yes. And I should we have
but
gone?
it's
Nice grab you got there,
it's
old
the
man.
beginning.
I think he's scared to
You gonna sign it later?
I think he's like scared to shoot.
No, listen, it's the beginning of the year. JJ Redick will pick it up. I'm not saying I wanted JJ Redick here, but he will pick it up. He will.
Should we have signed Kyle Korver?
If
He would have got you that
where-
outside shot.
So
yeah.
so where are you going
I
to put
would.
him and Redick on the court at the same time?
I would.
No.
If you put him and Redick on the court at the same
You're
time,
going to be giving up points.
look at how many points you're going to give up. So, I mean, if you do a quick math in your head and think about it logically, you probably couldn't put him on the court at
But
the same time.
if you put a slasher in there and like you're saying you collapse defense and you have those two out there, two of the most perennial perimeter shooters.
Agree, dude. Covington's got to go.
Oh, I agree
Dude's
with that.
gotta go.
Rucker needs to go.
I don't think he should have ever. I don't think he should still be here. That's the problem. I think he's
I
got
hate
to.
talking about the same stuff over and over again.
Well, you have a sports talk radio show.
We went so many episodes where it was always Covington.
Well, because we don't like Covington, we're allowed
None of
to all
us like
believe in
him.
that.
We all have no confidence in that dude whatsoever.
But here's the thing: you don't have an alternative. That's the problem. You don't have an alternative. I mean,
Yeah, you did. You Bridges.
well, yeah, that would have been the
And you
alternative.
trade him away. And
I have no idea why they did that. man.
And you traded him away for a guy who got hurt. Welcome back to the Philadelphia 76ers, another rookie who gets hurt his first year in.
Snake bit.
did you secretly have Sixer season tickets? Is that why?
No.
no, he actually went to the
Sean
website.
Sean Talamayo would hunt me down and kill me.
No. He
Sean
went to
would
the
hunt me down and kill me.
He's standing right behind you. He's like, "What the hell are you
Joey,
saying my name for,
you
Joe?"
went to Joey. You went to the website and priced them. That's all it took. That's it.
You added him to your cart and never bought him, and now look at us.
That's it. We're
It
done.
does seem like everybody the Sixers get in the first round has some sort of injury issue.
Yeah, you're talking about like 5 or 6 years in a row. Embiid, Simmons, it goes back to
It's the
Noel.
curse of the process, dude.
Noel,
Did they say when we're getting
Embiid,
Chandler back?
Simmons, Okafor,
To do Wilson Chandler, did they say when we're getting him back?
a week or two.
Because I tell you what, he's a good three-point shot.
He still has the
He
hamstring.
can create his own shot. He's a good three-point shooter, and he's a physical player. I mean,
But I don't think he's the solution. I think he's
I think he's better than what you'll have out there.
I think he's better than Covington.
Yeah, he's
but I don't think he's better than like.
Maybe that's why they got him. They think that he can replace Covington. Maybe you could trade Covington
But
to
here's
a
the
team
problem:
for a bag of raisins.
you got to find a team, right? But you got to find a team who's willing to take $13 million.
Sure, there's a team out there that'll do it.
Bag of raisins.
Who's dumb enough to take $13 million player?
Phoenix probably.
No, Phoenix is going to be a contender. Phoenix is going to be a contender this year.
Really?
Because they got Mikal Bridges.
Phoenix has a cap room to take him.
That's true.
I don't know if they'd want to.
Thank you, Brett
Wait a
Brown.
minute, Joey's a mush. Just because he said that, Phoenix is done. That's a shame.
So
Joey's mushing all the teams in the NBA.
Look, is everybody here? Would everybody move on from Fultz if he could?
Absolutely.
I agree.
Guns? Or is it too soon?
How am I moving on from him?
Well, that's so you need to play out these scenarios in your head.
I would move on from him if it benefited the team in a good trade.
Obviously,
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
get
that's-
rid of him.
Well, you're
for
not going to
nothing.
get a first pick. You're not
No,
going to
I
get a
don't
first
want
overall
pick.
pick.
I want a damn player.
You're not. Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of our picks. Our picks ain't doing nothing except Embiid and Simmons.
So what do you think Elton Brand's going to do? Do you think Elton Brand's going to bring that a little bit of moxie that you need as a GM? It's nice to have somebody who's a former player, not too far removed from the game. He knows the Sixers. He played here. And he knows a lot of players in the league. Do you think he's going to help or hurt? Do you think people are going to take him seriously? Is what I'm asking.
No.
It depends.
He's a Duke grad. He's got some brains on
I
him.
don't think they're going to take him seriously at all.
It depends on how much.
Earn that. He's going to have to earn it.
It depends on how much he's on his phone. If you don't see him on his cell phone, then it's a bad thing. I feel like if he's
I don't
not
think
constantly-
give him a year or two to get the Howie Roseman status, Joe.
A former
Howie
player,
Roseman's making moves at weddings.
maybe next year.
Howie
Tom.
Roseman needs to wake up out of his coma.
Next year, when he has the free agency
Sure,
to
let
work with,
him get his feet
he's
wet.
a former player, so a lot of the guys are going to trust him in negotiations. And,
They'll look out for their best interest, so to speak.
Yeah, and they see that Embiid and Simmons are superstars. So if they went there, they're also a superstar. Now you got 3 superstars.
That's what you. I think that's what we need. I think this team, obviously, you need that third superstar. I think we're all in agreement on that. How we get to getting that third superstar, if it's Fultz, and you don't have to do anything outside. If it's you have to make a move in order to get that third superstar, everyone knows you need at least 2. But in today's NBA, like the old mantra was you need at least 2 superstars. Today's NBA sounds to me you need at least 3.
At least.
I mean, essentially, Golden State has 5.
Yeah.
They have their 5 starters are all all-stars.
Well, look at Boston. Boston, you could say they have 5 too.
Yeah, but do you think Draymond Green can play this well with another team?
Draymond, he probably could transition into another team. He's a good defensive player.
Yeah, but
he may not be able to put up the points, but he could definitely play defense.
Well, that's the thing. He does not have to worry about putting up points on this team literally at all.
No.
So
transition points would be his job, is to get the ball transitioned to like Simmons or Embiid.
Exactly. So his physicality would be welcomed here. Like I said, and I've said this, you guys know on several occasions, that essentially Dario Saric plays that role that he plays.
Dario has to pick his game up in order to help this team more. I think now he's not just like a third guy that is obscure. He's got to be the third star.
I think Tom will tell with Dario. I think maybe mid-season you'll see whether or not Dario's worth.
Do you feel like he's
to.
tired? Do you feel like his leg? He doesn't have the legs underneath him. Like the commentators were saying, he looks tired.
Hey, he could be out of shape. He doesn't look like the most
he's
fit
tired.
guy out there. I tell you that right now.
They were saying he's tired because he played Euro League over the summer. Do you think he's tired because he played too much? Like, do you think he doesn't have his sea legs underneath him yet?
I think it's just conditioning.
Yeah.
I think he needs to condition better. Maybe that's something that they got to work on. I mean, Embiid looks amazing.
And he plays over the
Simmons looks
summer.
amazing. Simmons actually put a little weight on.
I think
is.
Embiid put some muscle on too. But I mean,
his off-season conditioning has been the best since he's come up into the NBA from
And
Kansas.
one of
he's
his,
not talking
one of
on a
his
white guy in
workouts
South
was
Street.
to play Jason Tatum one-on-one. And let me tell you something.
I've seen those videos.
That was insane. That was so entertaining. It was unreal.
And I go back to your point, Will. Like, think about the fact that we could have had Tatum on this team. That could have been 2 6.
You know what? I was thinking about that. You may be able to get Tatum
How?
Because when you first come into the NBA, you have a 4-year contract, right?
Sure.
Right now, they still have Kyrie Irving. They got Hayward. It depends.
Well, technically, rookies have a 2-year contract with a 2-year option.
Okay, well, here's the thing. If Tatum is giving away minutes when he knows that he's becoming a superstar in the NBA, and he sees that Kyrie's getting the shots, he sees that Hayward's getting the shots, he may.
You think they're going to pick Kyrie or Hayward over Tatum?
Right now, it looks like they're going to. They paid a lot of money. They paid a lot of money to
Kyrie
Hayward.
didn't score a point until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's the beginning now.
I get it, but if I'm paying that guy to come over and be the primetime player to run point for my team, and you don't score to the fourth quarter, I'm going to have a problem.
Look,
that's Markelle Fultz
It's
stats.
Kyrie Irving, no, Joey.
It's Markelle Fultz
So
stats.
since it's a 2-hour show, we're going to do a little 10-minute break in between to kind of break it up. I got one more question for you guys. We got about a minute left before we go to break. Do you guys like the way that Joel Embiid responded after the Boston game? I mean, like it's not a rivalry. They kick our ass. I really do.
I love it.
I
love
like
it.
that out of my player.
I mentioned it before. I love it. I love the fact that he's showing that fire. I love that fire.
And showing leadership.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that
at least we know we're going to hear from Embiid after these games and getting down to what's going on. He's not going to hide stuff.
Wouldn't you rather have a player that speaks his mind?
Sure.
Yeah.
Rather than a player that just says, "Oh,
Sure,
we lost."
and it's not one of those players that it's like they're annoyed to be even playing professional sports. They're annoyed to be asking questions. He loves this. He loves this city. He loves the way the fans are. It feels like he gets just as pissed as we do.
I like that he's getting on Simmons. I like it. Even though Simmons ain't playing bad, when Simmons makes a mistake out on that court, Embiid's saying, "Yo, what are you doing?
Oh yeah.
Why didn't you dunk that?"
After the Bulls
you know
game,
what I mean? Yeah.
after the Bulls game, he admitted to that. He's like, "Yeah, I get on him."
That's his boy.
I'm glad. Well, look, guys, we're going to cut the break here for a little bit for 10 minutes, and we'll be back. All right. So thank you for tuning in to the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show. We'll be back in 10. Oh, my back teeth are floating. Woo! Woo! I got a bathroom. Yeah.
No. She was like, yeah, that's what are you doing? I didn't know you did this stuff.
Yeah.
I hope you're a dog and the cowgirl.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. Dog and the cowgirl.
We did Sixers talk first. We're going Eagles next.
Nice. All right, cool. All right. I did it. I'm crazy.
Got me back in
paper started blowing away.
Oh, the papers?
Yeah, paper started like.
Okay. Thank you.
Hungry, but again, hungry, but I don't want to eat. Yeah, I was just worried about it. This would have happened like a couple of weeks ago for the Viking game. Like, but anyway. Yeah, it's at the park with Tony. Tony Mark's you can be our security guard, like, make sure everything doesn't get out of hand. Nah, I'll be alright. I'll eat a big dinner. I'll eat a big dinner. I'll be alright. If I got a headache, something, I'll eat something. Something like we know. I mean, I went to like this. I'll eat like a bowl of cereal.
The papers start flying all over the place as soon as you guys went away.
Oh, that's what happens when you're outside and you have no tech.
Big turnout. What guy that was talking about? Yeah. Oh, okay. I knew it was that was true. I didn't get a chance to talk to her. Yeah, it's tough. I just like said, how you doing? Like, Chris Chambers. Yeah, I wonder why he's like
Firing up the flyers.
Yeah. I'm a fucking dork. I read my Sixers in red, my Flyers in orange, and my Eagles in green.
1-1 at the end of the first period.
And he's organized. Flyers in.
When you're trying to do everything, like keep an eye on everything, and then make sure you're asking the guys the right
I know you
questions.
will. I got some things to say about the damn Flyers.
So I'm getting like,
oh, James, I like a fired up James.
Yeah. I'll try to explain it without swearing.
Are you out there making crabs?
What, the peanut gallery? Yeah, just snagging on the peanut gallery? What's that? Yeah, speak on the peanut gallery? Yeah, absolutely, man. Where's the jerk? Where's the jag jerk? There's the half and half, right down the middle.
It's so great.
Come on, Joe, you know I'm going to mess with you.
I didn't think you still had that in you, Mike.
Well, you know, he stretched. He had the groin pull earlier.
This is why Jason's 0-2 in your town.
Earlier, he had the groin pull. See the one I made too?
Yeah.
Dude, I had made both of them plays, but then I'm standing on third, and then 2 outs, that little bullshit hit, I try and make a run for it. I felt something like, I don't know if I want to play this next game.
Really?
Yeah.
You pulling a Jason on me, or? Yeah.
It doesn't help that you...
you want to make it into work to fall over and then come home from work. Yeah.
Probably doesn't help that you were like doing splits.
James, there's food over there. I got to get your guys' wristbands. I haven't seen Bridget.
I got mine too.
Oh, you got your... Joe, you going over there? Grab as many Miller Lights as you can. If they say something to you, just say you're grabbing it for the show. Don't curse anybody out. Oh, Lords.
Not so lucky the second time.
I understand.
I'm sure James didn't get a chance to tell you. We got tickets for the Cowboys game.
Nice.
Club seats. I got 2 club seats for the price of lower level seats would be.
You guys are all fancy nowadays, Joe. We were up, our noses would bleed back in the day.
Yeah, I said, well, I figured I'm going to get good seats. They were going for about 350 lower level good seats.
Well,
Just let me
guns,
check the club
Point on
section.
your guns.
Most of them are
you
going
know
for
it.
like 600 and 900 a piece. I found 2 for 329.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
329 a piece.
Thanks, Tom. I stole back of stuff.
Which is
I'll look
cheaper
out,
than
Tom.
some of the lower level seats were. And we got the club lounge behind us.
Everyone gets tickets through work, so every now and then, and they're all club box.
Yeah.
So my
Seats are more comfortable too.
my son asked me the one day. He goes, "Dad, who are all those people?" And
Telling everybody, you know that, right?
what's that? That's always. My son goes, "Dad, who are all those people?" I'm like, "What people?" He goes, "All those people out there." I'm like, "What people out there?" And I'm like, "The fans?" I'm like, "That's regular." And then at that point, I told her, I said, "Don't get any more tickets through your work." I was like, "Because this kid's asking, who are these people out here?" I'm like, "They're fans just like us, pal." I was like, "That's where you should normally be sitting."
Yeah, growing up privilege, right?
Yeah. So, that's a bomb. I don't know.
Well, I figured it's a Sunday night game in November. If the weather's a little bit iffy, we got the club lounge
Yeah.
back into it. You know?
Like in the same suite, like Brian Westbrook's in our suite.
That,
Brian Westbrook's in the same suite as where we were sitting.
I love my wall.
That'll work.
No, because we were talking on Thursday, you know, he was saying, it's a shame we don't have season tickets anymore. But
Yeah.
I'm tired of the grind. I said, I'd rather go to like a couple of games a year and pay good money and get good seats. I said, like we did with the playoffs. So I said, wait a minute, they're playing after the bye. The Cowboys is a Sunday night game. My band's playing Saturday, so I'm not doing anything Sunday. So I said, let's go to the game. So I looked at tickets yesterday, and I was just scrolling through the club section areas, and I come across 2 for $329 a piece.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
And they're like right one section over from where we sat for the Vikings game. So they're great seats.
Joe, when you go into the club seats, does that include like drinks and stuff?
Well, you got to buy they have their own concession stand.
Yeah.
Inside the club.
No, it's not club box, it's club suites.
It's basically a gigantic
No, but
lounge.
I was just curious.
No, there's
like,
one. What's the one what's included?
That's the
It's club box.
Club box.
Okay, I've been to them. They're awesome.
Because I remember when me and you.
Yeah, I imbibe
I know it's
chicken
happening.
fingers.
Those are like the luxury
We went to
boxes
the
where
club.
Yeah,
group
box
yeah.
for the
basically
They had food
The only
and
difference
drinks and
is
stuff, but
these
I had
seats.
no
First of all,
idea.
they're better seats because they're more comfortable.
Because I was
telling you.
But the main, you have your own concession stand.
Yeah, my wife's law firm had club box seats for the Phillies.
Who just walked away? Did somebody?
I ate
Joe, you ready?
15 chicken fingers, like 4 fries. I drank so much
Is that a
beer,
no?
dude.
Oh, you're going to throw stuff out. I'm like, where the hell's he going?
And the thing is the buffet. They're
we're
right
ready.
there.
Right.
So when you walk up, they're like,
Get
"What do
this
you want?"
fucking ass
This
over
and
here.
that. Everything's there. The beer's there. Everything.
I had club box seats for the NFC Championship game. Great seats.
We should do that, Tom.
I'm down.
But
Get the families all together. We
Well,
all
that's what I was
chip in. We get club box seats and at the Phillies or even the Flyers. I'll do the Flyers.
so 325 each.
Oh, I thought the time would tickle.
I take it.
Oh, okay. What you say?
That's what happened with us with the night.
All right, boys. You guys ready? Shall we? Guns? That looks good. What do you got over there? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm in,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Like today, I'm imbibing, but I haven't in almost a month.
Hey, you stole my chips out.
I did. Well, chips in a roll. I think I'll be all right.
Yeah.
For this. You know how many calories this frame needs to sustain, usually?
A lot.
I'm ready whenever you are.
All right.
Count it down. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Pattison Ave Phanatics Show here, down here live at Sheeran Day. at Vera Recreation, 2600 Mars Street.
It is beautiful out here.
It's a nice day, for sure. It was a good day for this. There was a little overcast this morning. That's why I busted the tent out just in case. But yeah, James, you're all fired up about them. James, give me some Flyers talk real quick. Just go right off the top. I'm not even going to ask you a question. Go right off the top of your head. What are you feeling?
Honestly, man, I don't even...
Move closer to the mic, James.
Sorry about that. Honestly, I don't even know where to begin with this Flyers Cup because 2 nights ago, I was I was living like 2 days ago because, like, when are they going to bring up Carter Hart? Like, I'm tired of this wait now. I'm so darn tired of waiting for Carter Hart to come up. Calvin Pickett's not good, and Brian Elliott is below the worst that he has ever been. It's time to bring up the goaltender. I'm tired of it now. We need another scorer. I'm sick of it.
Nice. That's kind of you're right along the same lines as where my heart is with this whole thing.
No pun intended.
No pun intended at all. I'll get into that in a minute. What scares you the most about this Flyers team? If you could pick one, mine's defense. Right now, their defense it's almost non-existent. And if you do get good defense in the first period or the second period, the third period, they're falling apart.
Balanced scoring.
Yeah. It's like they play great for like you said, 2 periods. And then the third period comes around, they play like complete crap.
Oh, wow, that sounds like the Flyers for the last friggin' 50 years.
Yeah, that needing goaltending.
It's sad.
It's other than Hextall, as long as I've been alive, the Flyers have needed a goaltender.
We had one, and we talked about this before. We had one.
Bobrovsky?
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks.
And we were like, bye-bye.
We got rid of him.
For a head case that we're still paying.
I like you.
How you doing in Florida, Brizgalov?
I think he's in space now.
Whatever. Yeah, he's
humongous big.
Humongous big. So I put a question up for the show prep, and I just wrote Carter Hart's thoughts ? Obviously, we know where James stands on the whole issue. So I understand that the big argument against bringing him up is that, you know, if he gets shelled, it could ruin him. It could ruin him for his career.
Newsflash: we're already getting shelled. We're already getting shelled.
So you bring the guy up, and you talk to him like, look, just go out there and play your game. If you get lit up, you get lit up. It's not the end of the world. But that's a psychological thing that the coach needs to put in place.
I said that before the season even started. I said put him in there, and if he loses, just let him keep losing, because eventually you get tired of losing and you start winning.
Exactly.
Or you just keep losing. But
consider this season a bust and just put him in there. And that's how great goalies start out. They just get thrown out into the fire.
You don't know what you have for this Flyers team until you give them experience. That's when the Eagles did it in 2016 with Carson Wentz. First week, he was the starter. That's what they need to do for the Flyers.
I almost think like the Carson Wentz thing was almost too good to be true. Like they couldn't pass that up. Whereas, you know,
But he had his critics.
Sure.
Before the draft, he had his critics.
He had a lot of them.
A small school, oversized. Like he had the size, but he didn't have the arm strength. But he had the accuracy. I mean, he could throw on a dime. But I mean, look, not every quarterback is going to have to throw 60 yards like a Pat Mahomes. I mean, for the Flyers, my problem is there's not enough balanced scoring up and down the lineup. Philadelphia Flyers teams that have been successful in the past with going to the playoffs have been successful at scoring up and down from line 1 to line 4.
The thing that pisses me off about it is why is Jordan Wheel on that second line? He stinks.
Well, because you don't have another option, or they're scared to bring up other options.
I understand Patrick's out, and I understand JBR's out, but you can't put like Lindblom or somebody? Like, come on.
Well, Lindblom was hurt for a little bit the other day. For the check from behind that never got called. But, I mean, here's the thing, is I still don't have faith in... So, the Flyers have a young goaltender who I feel like can make a difference. They have young defensemen that I feel like are struggling but still can make a difference. They have wingers and forwards that, you know, I feel like can make a difference, but then there are people that I feel like are kind of like laying back on their skills, like Giroux and Voracek and And a little bit of Couturier. I'm not gonna lie. Couturier is not playing up to where he should be.
I'm just sick and tired of saying you need a goaltender. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm just sick and tired of saying we always need a goal. We always need a goalie.
Absolutely.
You know, always.
That's the number one thing. That's the number one thing that has plagued this team.
I'm tired of blaming the defense. I'm tired.
I mean, it is. I mean, you gotta, especially if you know that you have a goaltender that's shaky in the net, you have to set him up with at least like serviceable defense.
Okay, all right. Listen.
Other than the Detroit.
Dominic Hasek, back in the day when Buffalo had no defense, was having the goals against average well below 3 and almost making the playoffs because he was carrying that team as
There's a reason why they called him the Dominator.
I know, but what I'm saying is that you can't keep on blaming the defense.
You can't keep on blaming
We
the
know
defense.
it's a combination of the two, though.
A goalie's got to win you some games.
I know, and we don't
man.
have one.
But that
We don't
gives
have
you
one.
confidence, and then that gives the defense more confidence, saying, look, if we just play a little bit better and this guy faces less shots, we stand a better chance of winning the game.
Here's the bigger picture
It's just
problem.
not happening.
Is that we're not willing to take a chance on a younger goalie because we keep passing the buck to these veteran goalies that keep giving us wins, but not enough to like get over the hump.
You're bringing in hockey geriatrics that should be put in a hockey nursing home. That's what the Flyers have been doing for most of my lifetime. They're bringing in a guy who's 2 or 3 years past his prime, trying to squeeze that last drop out of them, hamstringing yourself with high salary cap issues and paying them way too much.
I mean, here's the thing:
way too many goals, man. Way too many.
We are second to last in giving up goals. Detroit is the only other team that beats us.
Is that because Detroit played a game more than us?
No, they have more. They're only beating us by 2. So, but that's the thing is if they're giving up more goals and they don't have the star power that we do.
Listen, it's early. You can't keep on thinking that they're consistently going to be bad. Maybe they pick it up,
Yeah, but they're playing teams that they're going to face in the playoffs if they do get to the playoffs.
Like I said, hockey's also a long season, just like the NBA is a long season, just like the MLB. Football games matter. Dropping a game matters.
Every game
you know what
matters.
I'm saying? In baseball and hockey and basketball, you could drop 6 straight games and still make a run to make the playoffs. You drop 6 straight games in football, you're packing it up. And
You're the Giants.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. There's such long season.
And you're banging your head against a fan.
We could be sitting there talking
Absolutely.
about. We could sit there and talk about the fact that the Flyers are starting off cold. But what if in a month from now we're like, damn, they really picked it up. Wow, we had no idea that this guy could do this or this guy could do that.
True, and
Elliott's playing great right now.
You're right, and that could go the other way too. I'm sorry,
They
James.
bleep the bed and they probably play a crap again.
Yeah, you're right.
I hate to say it, but like as a Flyers fan, you've kind of taken that they have cold starts, and you always have faith that they'll make the playoffs somehow.
Hey, but Joey, all teams have bad stretches. Sometimes your bad stretches at the beginning of the year. I'm not saying that they're not going to. That they're still going to play
I don't know
bad.
if there's a difference between having a bad stretch right now or having a bad team.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I think
I don't think you've seen enough. There's no way you did.
So look. Here's my opinion. It's not necessarily a popular one. I catch a lot of shit for it, which whatever. You're 3 years too late for moving away from this core that you have. Consider yourselves the 2012-13 Phillies, okay? You're 2 to 3 years too late to move away from this core. You could have cultivated Giroux and turned him into a couple of top prospects and maybe another big name. But now you're sitting here. You're stuck. You're stuck with what you got. You have a coach, in my opinion, who, much like some of the NFL coaches that we know, won't make the proper adjustments. And this is what we're sitting here with. And the defense is young. And that's why we're getting burned on the defense. And injuries has plagued us a little bit, too. We definitely could have used a JVR over the last, handful of games.
All right, so let's just suck the whole damn year and then get a good draft pick, like we always hope to do. And then that draft pick turns out to be a damn bust. Or in the NHL, we wind up getting the 3rd pick, and the 3rd pick never makes it to anything. Which happens a lot.
Stop sugarcoating it, Guns. Tell us how you really feel, pal.
I mean,
look, we got the 12th pick and got Nolan Patrick, so,
When's he slotted to come back from injury? Who knows?
There we go. Let's get injured more. Why don't we?
I mean,
I think this team is too soft.
You get JVR, he's injured now. Like
I think this team is too soft.
I think sports in general are too soft.
I think Philly sports.
agree.
We just get injured.
I'm not going to get into people babying players because God knows we don't want to go down that rabbit hole again. But I just, in general, it's not like it was when we were growing up and we were kids.
Do we want to hand JVR's participation award right now? I mean, that's at this point, that's the way it feels.
I don't know. Well, look. So, if you were, I have an interesting question for you guys. If you were on an elevator with Dave Haxtell and only had 15 seconds to tell him what was on your mind, what would you say?
Go ahead, James.
After what's that smell? What would you say? If you were
Hey, Dave, nice to meet you. How's your Flyers doing today, buddy? Good? Oh, okay. Well, I got one. I gotta go.
I only have 15 seconds.
You only have. Well, you're on an elevator,
Oh,
so let's say he's going 3 floors up from where you're at. You got 15 seconds.
I would say hi. It's Will from Pattison Ave Phanatics.
I was wondering if we could get you on our program.
There you go, Will.
You ain't going to be doing anything in 3 months. Can you please come on our
I
program?
appreciate that, Moxie.
I'd hand him a business card and I would say, good luck to the Flyers, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
We'll be like, you're not doing anything in 3 months. Come on the show.
I had to write it down because a million things ran through my mind. I would go, Dave, bring up Carter Hart, give the C to Simmons, make Gritty an assistant coach, and what's up with some tickets?
He really went with super fast down to the point.
So I would say
I like it though. I like it. I can see how that would go because then they do be like, yeah, buddy, whatever.
One of the things I saw through watching the Flyers in the early season, they're not getting into the zone easy enough. I mean, the Knights were getting into the zone quick, fast, and in a hurry, and easy. And I feel like they're just playing like a dump and chase. And I feel like that's not going to get it done. I feel like other teams drop the puck back into the neutral zone, and then charge up all at once. I don't know if he's got a good strategy, so I would
It's too early.
I would ask him in 15
early.
seconds, are you ever going to change the offensive scheme for this hockey team?
Of course he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He's going to change.
Joe, your papers are blowing away there. Your voluminous notes are blowing away.
Joey, if you keep on losing, you have to change. So that's what he's going to do.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
If he's a good coach, that happens. If he's a bad coach, it doesn't. Remember, Chip Kelly didn't want to change.
But we got rid of Laviolette after we made 2 playoff runs in 2013.
Remember,
14.
yeah. But here's the thing.
I love Lavi too, man. I really did.
And remember, he went further the year after we fired him.
Yeah.
With the Predators.
I don't think we made the playoffs that following year after we fired Lavi.
No, we got knocked out by the Penguins.
Was it the Predators?
He went to the Predators.
Yeah.
Yep. And he brought that team up. And now they're actually a contender.
All right, so I have almost like a depressing question to ask.
We're already there.
Are our expectations of this Flyers team entirely too high?
Not mine.
Not mine.
Not mine.
Mine was. So I'm the only asshole.
Maybe everyone else. Maybe everyone else has higher expectations.
So I'm that guy then.
Sure. Welcome to my role.
They didn't have a goal.
You were essentially bringing back the same core, right? This core took you to the playoffs last year. Whatever. What was it? 10-game winning streak, 10-game losing streak last year, or whatever it was, 15 games.
Something like that.
I didn't expect them to come out and look this shaky. I was hoping that the goaltend would have some semblance of normalcy, but then again, we are talking about the Philadelphia Flyers there. So no, all you guys had no what were your expectations?
My expectations were 40 and 42, and I still stand by that. And I feel like that they could actually do worse than that. But I don't feel like my expectations are too high. I feel like they're right on point. I feel like my expectations is they're going to miss the playoffs, that they're going to have a subpar season.
Can I pause you real quick?
Go ahead.
I would say I don't mean to interrupt you, but I do. So they don't make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Does the core finally get blown up?
I think it should.
I can't see that happening. Not with the front office.
It's a lot of work.
Not with the front office the way it is.
I don't see it happening either, Tom.
Hextall has that. I'll get into Hextall in a little bit. I just don't think they're willing to move away from this, which means it's not going to allow you to either go down to come back up or to go up from where you're at now.
Well, understand something. We missed the playoffs last year. The Flyers are typically a consistent team that goes into the playoffs.
Flyers didn't miss the playoffs last year. They lost in the first round.
I thought they missed the playoffs.
No, they got swept in the first round.
Well, they look. My point is that they're not being successful within the ventures that they're trying to succeed.
No more Yinglin's for you.
You got it. That's all right. Yeah, live it up, Joe.
I understand what he's talking about, though. I always said there was no point in them to make the playoffs last year. They got beat bad.
Where do you think
they got beat bad?
Where do you think these guys need to be in order to get over the hump?
Blow the team up.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I think you got to tear down the build up at this point.
And it'll probably take 2 to 3 years to even get back into playoff talk.
Yeah, I think you got.
But you got your goalie. I think you got your goalie.
With Carter Hart.
That's what I'm saying.
We got to get up here and see what he does against pro level competition.
Put him in there, man.
Technically, you got to remember he did have a competition during the preseason. I mean, they had some pros up
preseason though. I mean,
I know, but
Nate
it's not the NFL.
Nate Sudfeld looked good in the preseason.
It's not the NFL. You're not playing fourth-string guys that aren't going to make the team.
No, but you're playing other guys that are on the Phantoms and all your other foreign teams.
That's why I love doing what we do, because like if you watch like a sports talk show that's just on that one sport, they never intertwine sports. We can do whatever the hell we want. We can throw this in there.
Willie Guns is basically telling you we're versatile here on the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show.
We can just say whatever we want. Like, okay, whoopie-doo. Football is a long season, but very few games. Hockey, 82. Basketball, 82. Baseball, 162.
And I
I'm
quote,
not worried about the Flyers yet.
And I quote from Will.
That's what I said.
I'm not going to worry about baseball until June.
Wow. Here we go.
I'm just saying, welcome back, Will.
Yeah,
so,
I'm here.
How many Flyers games have you guys been to? And I'm not saying recently. I'm saying overall, like dozens. Probably dozens for me.
Well, before 2005,
maybe a dozen.
Before 2005.
Look, I'm a Harry Potter dork. You're almost like Lord Voldemort, Holmes. We don't we don't talk about that. He who should not be named. Right. Or that season that should not be named.
Yeah.
Those 06 Flyers. So,
but I've been to about 100.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to about 100, but I got to say, like, my favorite time to go is when they're playing the Rangers. That's always an interesting game.
Flyers Rangers.
Yeah, it's always an interesting environment.
I'm Flyers Devils Flyers Pittsburgh guy. That's me. That's always been my favorite thing.
James, I would say Flyers Pittsburgh would be number one. Flyers I've never been, or Flyers in Boston. I would enjoy that.
James, how about you?
I would say 10 or 15 games because I'm still a young buck. Don't get me wrong.
So my first Flyers game I ever went to, I was probably a little older than my son is now. I was probably 10 or 11. I went with my mom. It was Flyers Pittsburgh. Sitting up the 200 level at the Spectrum, and there's Pittsburgh fans sitting around us, and Flyers score, and I think it was a game winner. We're jumping up and down and yelling, and my mom turns around, man, there's this Pittsburgh guy sitting there with a bag of popcorn in his hand, man. My mom slaps it out of hand and goes up to the ceiling.
Damn.
And I'm just, that's the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. If you've ever been to a professional sporting event with me.
If you ever been to the Kelly,
Pittsburgh fan probably was talking trash the whole game.
I'm sure he was. I might have been too young.
If you ever been to the Kelly family household, like your parents, you have the Flyer room. I mean, that speaks for itself.
There is a room fully dedicated to the Flyers.
Yeah, the Flyers room.
James, you got one Flyers game you've been to that stands out for you?
It was the 2010 Stanley Cup. No, it's before they got into the Stanley Cup playoffs. I remember the day I had a fractured hairline fracture on my foot, and that day I'm sorry, man. I had a fractured hairline fracture on my foot actually, and when they went to the playoffs, I was jumping for joy. I didn't care if I had a broken foot or not. That was probably the best Flyers game I ever went to.
Sorry, I got caught up here. There's a rundown going on right now. Mikey McCann.
Oh, no.
A typical Cowboys fan.
Michael McCann pulls up a little limp there. He said better than a Jags fan, Joe. He's coming right after you. But yeah, we're just doing a little reminiscent. I went to the Winter Classic when they played the Rangers too. That was
Did you really?
That was a cold game, man. That was a cold game. Those Winter Classics are something else. I'm going to try and go to them against Pittsburgh this year. It's coming up at the link.
That is, I'm kind of trying to find my way because that's not Wells Fargo Center. That is not Wells Fargo
No,
Center.
it's at the link.
Yes.
Best game I was to was against the Rangers, and I got to see Eric Lindros, man. Him on the ice.
The Big E.
He was so loud. You could hear him. I have really bad seats. I was up high. You could literally hear Lindros screaming at his whole team every play.
I actually got to meet.
Every single play. Oh, it's always him. You can tell it's him.
I got to
he
meet.
He smashes his stick on the ground and everything. It was amazing.
I got to meet Eric Lindros at a Wives, the carnival.
Yeah, Flyers Wives.
Flyers Wives,
Fight for Lives carnival. I've had too many Yinglings. All right.
Flyers Lives.
That's why I didn't even try to do it.
Joey's giving out the free sponsorship today, Will.
Yeah.
So you don't feel bad.
But so this guy stood up and he like shook my hand, and I was just a kid, and he just towers, and I'm like, okay, he's larger than life when you see him on the television. He's larger than life when you see him in person, and I'm like, whoa, okay, I can understand now why you're intimidating.
I never enjoyed more hockey player to watch than Eric Lindros, man. I enjoyed watching.
I feel bad for his
That was
brother.
right at our time too, when we were right at that age.
Legion of Doom.
When you're playing it and you're paying attention to it.
I feel bad for his brother though.
Stinks that I was way too
Brett,
young.
Yeah.
Brett Lindros.
It stinks that I was way too young to see Lindros play, but I did. Like my Eric Lindros was Jeremy Roenick from 2003 to 2000.
So Joey knows, and I'll go into that. We can jump into this right now. Your favorite hockey player of all time. So I'm going to go first because James has brought it up. Mine was Jeremy Roenick, American-born player. When he came to the Flyers, Joey was literally with me at Modell's in the gallery. I bought his jersey for like $280 right there on the spot.
And it was definitely money you didn't really have. But it was,
I knew I was going to get in trouble for that one. But
My
whatever.
favorite Flyer was Jeremy Roenick.
Yeah.
Oh,
he was my favorite. He's my favorite hockey player of all time.
Yeah, that's his favorite.
And dude,
gotcha.
NHL '94, man, Chicago Blackhawks. That's the greatest team ever assembled in a hockey video game.
I got another question after that goes off of whatever
ahead,
Tommy
Gus.
has written down.
Who was your favorite Flyer? Will?
My favorite Flyer was Michael Remberg.
Okay.
Mikhail Remberg, whatever people want to say. I loved Remberg. But growing up, my favorite hockey player was Alexander Mogilny. I
Oh.
love Mogilny, man.
Okay.
was a good
From the
player.
bat, Mogilny was a monster. But I wanted to ask everybody, what's your current favorite hockey player? Not on the Flyers, just in the NHL that you enjoy watching.
I gotta kind of take something from what you introduced me to this guy.
Ovi, dude.
No.
Ovi's my favorite.
Yeah, Ovechkin.
Ovi.
Taylor Hall.
Taylor Hall. Will introduce me
I
to
just
this
hate
guy.
that he's
Taylor
a
Hall.
devil now.
I know. It bothers me, but he's got talent. I can't deny it. He's got talent. You asked a question, I answered. My favorite Flyer of all time. It's not like the most popular Flyer, and it's not the most famous.
Mark Recchi.
Yes.
Me and Tommy know it. We knew it right away.
My favorite Flyer was actually I just said it. Billy.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Wait, your favorite Flyer was?
Oh, I didn't mention it.
No. JR?
No, Eric Desjardins.
Oh,
I like that.
nice.
That's good. That's good. I thought you were going to say Rob Brindamore.
Brendy was all right. I mean,
I love Rod Brindamore.
Brindamore was a fight. Like he was scrappy. Like Peter Savoda and him.
You know what, man?
I think
the only
we're
player
like.
I really enjoyed watching was Keith Primo.
Yeah, you're a big Keith Primo guy.
Love Keith Primo.
Well, he finally ended that 6 overtime.
Well, Primo proved that you didn't have to have the most goals and the most assists. You didn't need any to be an impact player.
And that's kind of my point with this Flyers team is that you don't. I feel like people take too much stock in what Giroux does or what Giroux
Somebody's
has
going
done.
to trip that camera. That camera's about to go, man. I'm telling you, somebody's going to trip over that, and
Yeah, I was worried somebody was going to trip over.
it's telling you, it's going to happen.
That's all right. I mean, it'll add to the ambiance of the entire day.
Yeah. Hey, we made it. We're still here, right?
And I got to say, the one person I thought was going to get mentioned as a favorite Flyer was Pronger.
Claire.
Well, Pronger. Pronger was.
He wasn't here long enough.
He wasn't
in my
here long
opinion.
enough. But
John LeClaire should have been mentioned, to be honest with you.
the guy who created The Office, basically. Like, he sat in his office
John Leclerc was something else to watch, man. I tell you.
I love Leclerc.
I
Love
used
them.
to really like Zubers too. I was a
No,
big fan.
no one on earth is a bigger Leclerc fan than my mother.
Yeah.
Huge Leclerc fan.
I did like Don and Zubers though. I did.
I like Svoboda. Svoboda and
Peter
Kapanen.
Svoboda.
Gritty player.
Sammy Kapanen and Peter Svoboda. They were both.
Vaclav Prospal.
Yeah, and Svoboda.
Gas
Dynamo was
buster.
pretty
Listen,
good.
Svoboda went to Tampa Bay and became an all-star.
Yeah.
That's the story. That's the story of the Philadelphia sports, you know.
They go somewhere else and become better.
We boot a guy off of the court or off the ice, wherever you want
Patrick
to call
Sharp.
it, in the field, and then they Sharp, yeah, right? And then they just go to another team and they do like look at Darren Dalton won a World Series with the Marlins, man.
It's the truth. I mean, and I think that's the frustration of like Philly sports fans is you see this guy that is on your team, they get rid of him. Maybe that's the
That's
fear.
why I'm happy that
Maybe that's the
Chase Utley, Pat Burrell, all those Phillies.
Well, I'm rooting for the Dodgers.
Brian
Game
Howard.
7.
I'm happy that they got
I'm rooting
that
for
World
Milwaukee
Series
because I
because
hate
that team
Machado.
deserved it. That team deserved it. You agree, Tom?
Chase Utley's on the team,
When you
dude.
think about it,
He's not
that
even
team
on the
deserved
team.
the World Series.
He's on the team.
How
No,
close
he's
they
not.
were. and
Yes, he
everything.
is.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, but that's
Yeah, he's on the bench.
You don't see the
I didn't
Flyers
see him
being
at all in
that.
the playoffs.
You have to see the team
Yeah, he didn't
chemistry.
make the team, right?
What?
No, he's on the team, but he's not on the playoff roster.
Oh, okay.
I thought
have,
he
like-
was. I thought he.
This is the
No?
first time ever on the Pattison Ave Phanatics where we have a shitload of conversations going from every
Yeah,
angle.
I know.
It's interesting, you know. This is our first
like
ever
our-
live remote, and we love the day that we picked to have our
Yeah.
first ever live remote.
It's like you're at the bar and you just hear a bunch of conversations going on. Because I was catching what they were talking about a little bit, and I was just like, I could imagine how just listening to it, how it would sound. Like, well, I kind of like what Joey's talking about. Will, he just don't even know what he's talking about, you know?
All right, so
Welcome back, Will.
yo, so I'm pretty sure we're kind of along the same lines with this, but does this team miss or make the playoffs this year?
Miss the playoffs.
Miss.
I mean, right now it's easy to say miss. I don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I'm
kind
a
of in the
don't
same
know
boat.
guy. I'm sorry. I'm a
I
don't
think-
know. Don't know.
I think they miss.
Will, come
I
off
don't
the
know.
fence.
I
Come
don't
off
know,
the fence.
man. I don't know.
Come on, Will.
I've
Make a
seen this.
stand.
I've seen us start out bad, and then get
I
good.
have too, but
they
this is
They started out bad the year we went to the
beyond
Stanley
bad, man.
Cup and played Chicago.
Have you seen them play this bad
Yes.
and make the playoffs?
Yes, they lost 10 straight games last year and made the playoffs.
Right, and now you're asking them to win 10.
I think I already proved my point just now.
No, you didn't, because winning 10 straight
lost,
games is not that
but
easy.
They lost 10 straight last year.
Right,
still
and
made
then
the
won
playoffs.
10 straight. They lost 10 and then won 10.
Okay.
That's the inconsistency that this team is.
Right.
They
And
play
they
one
still
straight,
made the
and they play
playoffs.
Right,
the other
but
day.
you're asking a lot. You're asking a
You
ton.
know what? I'm sick and tired of saying, "Oh, can we make the playoffs?" That's all we're going to do if we do.
So you want the you want the cup. You want the cup.
My prediction is if they make the playoffs, that's all they're going to do.
So you
That's it. They're going to do. That's it.
Okay, so are we
You
all
want
in
me to be honest?
are we all in agreement that this is not a cup team?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This isn't a solo cup team, let alone a Stanley Cup
The
team.
Keith's not
NHL, the
drinking this
NHL is way too good this year, man. It's way too talented.
But here's the thing, then if it's not a cup team, then why aren't you blowing it up?
Well,
Because aren't you trying to
that's not our
No,
call
no.
to make.
Oh yes it is, because I'm an analyst. So I'm gonna analyze the fact that they should